The southeast corner of England.
Table of contents, the southeast corner of England.
All about London and the southeast corner of England. With visiting and touring information, geography, history, attractions, and the points of interest. Dr. Sidney Soclof. Dr. Sidney22@gmail.com. 2022. Narration by Dr. Sidney Soclof.
Zoe Phonemes.
And Nathan Koltove. For a complete discussion of YouTube navigation, please go to tinyurl.com/ytnavigator.
Chapter 1. Introduction to the southeast corner of England.
This royal throne of kings, this sceptred isle, this earth of majesty, this seat of Mars, this other Eden, demi-paradise, this fortress built by nature for herself against infection on the hand of war, this happy breed of men, this little world, this precious stone set in the silver sea, which serves it in the office of a wall or as a moat, defensive to one house against the envy of less happier lands. This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England.
The southeast corner of England.
These are the British Isles, consisting of the main islands of Great Britain and Ireland, and many smaller islands.
The British Isles has the nations of the United Kingdom, consisting of England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland, and the independent Republic of Ireland.
The prime meridian, or 0 degrees longitude, passes through the Royal Observatory at Greenwich, just a few miles east of London on the Thames River. Great Britain is this large island, whereas the United Kingdom also includes Northern Ireland.
To clarify, Great Britain is this large island containing England, Wales, and Scotland.
Southampton is located here on the south coast of England, about 50 miles or 80 kilometers southwest of London.
Other important cruise ports are at Dover and Harwich. This shows the location of the cruise port of Harwich.
These are regions of the United Kingdom or UK.
These are the counties of England.
These are the counties in the south of England.
These are the counties of the southeast. Southampton is in Hampshire. Just to the east are West and East Sussex. Dover and Canterbury are both in Kent.
These are the counties of southeast England.
This is the southeast corner of England.
This is the southeast corner of England in more detail.
This is the southeast corner showing Dover and London.
These are the counties of the southeast, Canterbury and East and West Sussex.
This shows Dover in the southeast corner of England.
These are some major cities in the southeast corner of England.
Chapter 2. The South Coast, a little bit of history.
Britain and Roman England.
The Britons were a people inhabiting the British Isles before the Anglo-Saxon invasions, beginning in the 6th century.
The majority were probably Celts, who arrived on the island at an unknown date, but perhaps beginning as early as the 7th or 6th century BC. They undoubtedly mixed with earlier inhabitants of the islands.
The Romans added the province of Britannia to their empire starting in about the year 43 AD.
These are the stages of the Roman conquest of Britain from the year 43 to 80 AD.
Here are some of the towns established by the Romans, including Canterbury, London and York.
The Romans also built Hadrian's Wall and the Antonine Wall.
One of the largest towns was Londinium, now London. Also, note that Duravernum is now Canterbury, and Dubrus is now Dover.
After the Romans left Britain, the Britons were harassed by the Picts and Scotti from northern Britain and present-day Scotland, and Scotti from Ireland.
Then came the Anglo-Saxon Invasion.
This was to be another invasion of Britain from the continent of Europe.
This time it was by various Germanic tribes known as the Anglo-Saxons, Jutes and Frisians.
The Germanic tribes known as the Anglo-Saxons, Jutes and Frisians came from what is the present-day Denmark, Germany, and the Netherlands.
Here are places where the Anglo-Saxons, Jutes and Frisians invaded England.
The Angles came from what is presently the Schleswig-Holstein region of Germany. They landed in the east of England, in the part still known as East Anglia.
The Saxons came from what is presently northern Germany, mainly from a region now known as Lower Saxony.
The Saxons landed in the south and west. Along the Saxon shore, the present counties of Sussex, South Saxons, and Middlesex, Middle Saxons, are evidence of this.
The Jutes are thought to come from what is now the Danish peninsula of Jutland and landed in Kent, the Isle of Wight, and in the West Saxon region.
The Frisians came from what is now the northern part of the Netherlands in the area still known as Friesland. They are thought to have landed along the south coast along with the neighboring Saxons.
Frisian is the West Germanic language most closely related to English.
The closely related Germanic languages which they spoke formed the basis of English. The English language thus arrived in Celtic Britain, which was defenseless after the withdrawal of the Roman legions, and on the point of a sword.
Many of the Celts were driven into the west and sought refuge in Wales and Cornwall.
And some Celts emigrated across the Channel to Brittany. Did you know that this is how Brittany got its name?
Chapter 5. The Vikings.
The Vikings.
The Vikings began a series of attacks upon all the lands adjacent to the North Sea and the Baltic. Their activities began in plunder and ended in conquest.
The Viking attacks occurred all over the British Isles.
Here are where the Vikings made landings in the period 789 to 843.
These invasions of people from Scandinavia lasted over some 250 years. From the first Viking attacks in 789 to the rule of King Canute, which lasted until 1040.
This period of invasions resulted in the settlement of large numbers of Scandinavians in England. An indication of their large number is that more than 1,400 places in England bear Scandinavian names.
Danish kings ruled England for 25 years.
The Norman Conquest 1066.
The Vikings were Norsemen, who invaded and then settled in northern France, are called the Normans.
This is the region of Normandy in northern France.
The Norman Conquest was the military conquest of England by William, Duke of Normandy.
It was produced by his decisive victory at the Battle of Hastings in 1066.
This resulted in profound political, administrative, and social changes in the British Isles.
It also produced major changes in the English language, particularly in the vocabulary where thousands of French words were introduced.
The 100 Years' War started in 1337, when King Philip VI of France attempted to confiscate the English territories in the Duchy of Aquitaine, located in southwestern France.
It ended in July 1453 when the French finally expelled the English from the continent, except for Calais, by force.
The 100 Years' War was a series of raids, sieges and naval battles interspersed with truces and uneasy peace.
Chapter 7. World War II. The Battle of Britain.
World War II. The Battle of Britain.
After Nazi Germany defeated France in June 1940, Britain faced the danger of invasion across the Channel from occupied France.
Britain was under daily attack by the Luftwaffe from bases in France.
The successful defense of Britain by the RAF from this onslaught of the Luftwaffe is called the Battle of Britain.
London suffered heavily from the bombing. From August 1940 to May 1941, German bombers came over night after night.
Portsmouth, Southampton, and other points along the south coast of England were the assembly and embarkation ports for the D-Day invasion of Normandy, June 6, 1944.
This shows the invasion routes from the Channel ports to the beaches of Normandy.
Chapter 8. The Southeast Coast.
This is the southeast corner of England including Dover.
Chapter 9. Kent is called the Garden of England.
This is the county of Kent.
Chapter 10. Dover.
The White Cliffs of Dover.
The White Cliffs of Dover. Tomorrow, just you wait and see. There'll be love and laughter and peace ever after. Tomorrow, when the world is free. The shepherd will tend his sheep, the valley will bloom again, and Jimmy will go to sleep in his own little room again. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover. Tomorrow.
It is only about 20 miles from Dover across the narrowest part of the English Channel to the coast of France near Calais.
This is the route of the present-day Channel Tunnel.
This is the area near Dover.
This is the area near Dover.
Cruise ships come into the western docks, very close to the town center of Dover.
Chapter 11. Dover Castle is one of Britain's oldest and most important castles.
Dover Castle dates to Norman times, to 1066.
Dover Castle played a central role in defending England from foreign invasion.
In both World Wars, Dover was Britain's frontline town.
This is in Dover Castle.
Dover Castle overlooks the town. The arch at St. James's Church can be seen in the foreground.
The flowers on the cliffs overlooking the town of Dover are spectacular during the summer months.
This is a view of Dover Castle from the High Street.
The White Keep of Dover Castle is perched high above the town. This Norman structure once housed knights of medieval times and more recently prisoners of the Napoleonic War.
This is the first and last pub in Dover.
The Roman Pharos Lighthouse is the tallest freestanding Roman structure in the UK. The upper tower was restored in the 14th century.
The eastern port of Dover is one of the busiest passenger ports in Europe.
This is a view from Dover Beach, that is situated in between the busy western and eastern docks. This long pebble beach is popular with locals and visitors alike. A good way to get around the tourist spots in Dover is to take the cycle route.
St. Mary's Church is an ancient parish church that was founded in around 1100. It had to be rebuilt in 1843 because underground burials were undermining the foundations.
This is a view down the High Street of Dover.
This is the town hall and the church maison too.
This is the Museum of Dover in Market Square. Behind an impressive Victorian facade in the marketplace. This museum houses exhibitions of Dover's military and maritime past as well as the Dover Bronze Age boat.
The Dover Museum houses exhibitions of Dover's military and maritime past as well as the original Dover Bronze Age boat that dates back 3,500 years.
This is a reproduction of a 3,500-year-old Bronze Age boat. This is possibly the earliest cross-channel ferry.
These are exhibits in the Dover Museum.
These are remains of the Roman wall in Dover.
This is the Dover Roman painted house. This is thought to have been a hotel in Roman days.
This is the St. James's Church. The South Chapel was used as a meeting room for the court of Cinque Ports in the 17th to 19th centuries.
This is the western harbour of Dover, in good weather. Some spectacular views can be seen from above the town along the cliff tops.
This original concrete early warning acoustic contraption from World War II, with a polished concave front, was a precursor to radar. It is near the Battle of Brighton Memorial.
Chapter 12. Canterbury. There is no lovelier place in the world than Canterbury, Virginia Woolf. 1904.
A short distance from Dover is the old cathedral town of Canterbury.
Kent is rightly known as the Garden of England and Canterbury is its most beautiful city.
England's most famous cathedral city, Canterbury, sits in one of the most attractive corners of rural Kent and has been welcoming visitors for over 2,000 years.
As part of the city designated by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, Canterbury today is a delightful mixture of architecture, history, arts and culture, museums, shops of every description, visitor attractions and good restaurants and pubs.
Canterbury has been a significant player in England's history since its beginnings as the Roman settlement of Drovernum.
St. Augustine came to Canterbury in 597 AD from Rome to bring Christianity to England.
The ruins of the abbey that St. Augustine founded are now an English heritage site and stand just outside the city walls in Longport. Along with the cathedral and England's oldest parish church of St. Martin, St. Augustine's Abbey makes up the city's World Heritage Site.
This shows the Canterbury Cathedral, city walls, and the pedestrian area.
Canterbury Cathedral is England's most famous place of worship and mother church of the Anglican Communion.
This is the Canterbury Cathedral.
This again is the Canterbury Cathedral.
This is St. Michael's Chapel in the Cathedral at Canterbury.
This is the crypt in the Canterbury Cathedral dating from the 12th century.
This is the interior of the Canterbury Cathedral.
This is another view of the Canterbury Cathedral.
Canterbury is a small city and mostly pedestrianized, so exploring is best done on foot.
The Stour River Cruise.
This is the Stour River that runs through Canterbury.
This is the brick bridge on the Stour River Cruise.
This is the old Roman wall in Canterbury.
This is the old weaver's house in Canterbury.
Chapter 17. The Money of the UK.
The UK is no longer a member of the European Union and continues to use its own currency.
Recommended videos, the southeast corner of England.
Recommended video, Southeast England, Rick Steves.
Recommended video, Canterbury, best things to see.
Recommended video, top 10 places to visit in Dover.
Recommended video, top 10 places to visit in Portsmouth.
Recommended video, top 10 places to visit in Southampton.
Recommended video, top 10 places to visit in Winchester, Hampshire, England.
Recommended video, top 10 places to visit in Brighton. Table of contents, the southeast corner of England.
Thanks for watching. Please watch some more of my great videos.